it's a dude I know named Too Tall from Bounty Hunters.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he a gangster, but he like to. He a gangster, but he could tell a story. You get what I'm saying? And part of telling that story is implementing while you're at action. So, per se, like, we're walking in my neighborhood when I'm younger. We see some enemies walking by.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say we pull out a strap on him or something, and we ain't gonna beat him up, and then we just want to embarrass him, really. Take off your pants and run across the street, nigga, before we shoot you or something. Then we go to the hood like, yeah, we just saw this bust ass nigga made him white running across the street naked, bitch ass nigga, this and this, right? So we can all laugh about it, but there's some gangster shit in it, right? That's the type of shit that I would get from Too Tall, you feel me?
What's the word, Menace?
What's up with it?
Oh man, just chilling, man. Glad to have you on here.
Man, I appreciate you having me, bro.
For sure.
Appreciate it.
We could go back to the beginning, man, when you was a little kid. How was your childhood, man?
Man, like, I tell niggas all the time, like, even coming up in a neighborhood that I grew up in, like, I was blessed to have like the older niggas in my life and shit like that, because I wasn't forced to do a lot of things. I wasn't forced to do no bad shit. I played sports and they forced me on a good path. Grew up with my parents, you feel me? Pops in and out the house. Moms was on drugs. It's the typical hood shit. So that's what I could say, like, you know.
Oh really, man? How did that impact you, man, having a mother that was on drugs, that was suffering from drug addiction?
Man, like I was just raised different. You get what I'm saying? So I didn't really look at it like my mother was a crackhead or nothing. I looked at it just like she had a problem. She was a functioning addict. So it'd be breakfast, lunch, and dinner on the table. The house would be clean, but nighttime, then that's when she, you know, turn and go do what she do. So I didn't ever have like a bad feeling about somebody that did drugs. I just felt like it was natural to me, realistically.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So you said you played football?
Yeah.
You played Pop Warner and the whole nine?
I started playing, I played Pop Warner. I played Pop Warner for a couple years.
Did you play for Compton Vikings?
Nah. I think it was the Titans at the time.
The Compton Titans?
Yeah, the Titans.
Yeah, that's my boy Earl over there running that program.
Yeah, the Titans. And then I went to a middle school called the NFL Yet Center. It was sponsored by the NFL. It was right there in Compton on Central and Wilmington, I want to say. Yeah, so that was a good thing too, because we got to really meet people that was like doing different shit. You get me? So sports was a really big part of my life. No matter what was going on, I always had that team atmosphere. I always, you know.
Yeah, sports took more people out the hood, man, than any other thing. Man.
Right.
Between sports and hip hop, man, number one exports is the black community.
Yeah.
You know,
It helped me a lot. My bad for cutting you off, but even from like going to different schools, because the good schools was crib schools. You feel me? So I had to go to crib schools too. So just sports helped me build real relationships before it was gang banging on each other and shit like that. And going to the school through the year after that, building a relationship, it was easy for me. You feel me? It wasn't like I had blood problems against the Crips or nothing like that. They just made sure I was straight and we was a family. You get me? So sports was a big thing in my life.
That's dope, man. Now, when did you start getting the hip hop bug? When did you start getting the bug of wanting to rap and MC?
Man, I ain't gonna lie, was sports ain't really, I wasn't into like school like that. So I didn't fuck around and I didn't take no SATs and shit like that, so I didn't get to do what I wanted to do. So I was just doing the regular outrageous shit. And it was a dude that went to Compton High School, and his name was Michael Hunt, all red. He was from City Block. And he was real close with the game when they started popping. I was a street nigga. I was just like really stealing cars at this time and shit like that.
Yeah, you was out doing your shit.
Yeah, and I would call Mike to come, help me out when it's time to, chop them bitches apart. So he run around with game and he like, man, my boy Game rapping, like you should come out with us. You feel me? We starting to go out with a lot of niggas. We want a lot of real niggas with us and shit like that. So I'm like, all right, cool. And I was just really a street nigga. I wasn't really into music.
So you wasn't really into it, but you just got around the vibe and started vibing?
Yeah, I got around the vibe and I got to see like damn, like somebody from the city did this shit, like a gang member did this shit. And I really fell in love with music around 2004.
That's dope, man. And at that time, Chuck was blowing up. Like he was
Yeah,
like the biggest thing.
he was the man, yeah.
He was the biggest thing ever. I was in
He was
England.
the man.
Yeah, I was in the UK at that time, man, traveling back and forth between here and the States.
Hell yeah.
And even over there, he was huge, you know?
Yeah.
So
Facts.
you start doing that. Do you remember the first song you laid down?
Man, yeah, I do. I think it's called For My Niggas. And it was a good thing because we had recorded that song in I think the same studio that Tupac got shot in New York.
Yeah.
So just that whole energy and all that shit that was a cool vibe.
That's crazy, man. So how did the gang like respond to you rapping and stuff? Because you didn't meet him on the premise of being a rapper. How did he respond to that?
It was just like laugh, you feel me? Like Slim gonna rap. It's like a laugh. It wasn't like a you can't do it type of thing. You feel me? Like, he showed me that he was interested, and he gave me that, the courage to push on with it. I can say that.
Oh, for sure. So when did you first know that you was on to something, like as far as being an MC? When did you start like seeing some results from your work?
I would say I always had a good relationship with like Lil Wayne. So when Lil Wayne had did Blood Niggas with me, and it was at a time like right before he was going to jail, and he called me like, "Hey, I'll be in LA. You trying to shoot a video?" I'm like, "Hell yeah."
That's dope.
That was a big thing right there for me at the time, because that was when I first began and first trying to learn myself. You feel me?
Yeah, and that record, man, that like blew up on the underground level. Like that record did good for you.
Yeah, for sure it did. For sure it did. And after that, niggas stopped saying Wayne was a fake blood too, if you notice.
Yeah, that's crazy. Let's talk about that for a minute, man, because I don't know where cats get that from. And speaking on cats that they don't know, we was talking about that off air, because when I was in New Orleans, Wayne had a bunch of real niggas with him, dog.
Yeah,
he had a bunch of real blood niggas that was from his turf, that was from his city down there, and he had been claiming that hood for a long time.
Yeah. Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And he's one of the, outside of the gang shit and everything, Wayne is genuinely one of the just better people on this planet.
Man, Wayne a real nigga, bro. He did countless things for me that, half I ain't asked for it, and he's just a good nigga. You feel me? And it ain't about no streets. It ain't about none of that. He's just a good-hearted nigga.
Yeah, he was a real good-hearted nigga. So and we could bounce. So you running with Game now during this time, y'all doing your thing. When did you decide that wasn't for you no more?
What, the street shit?
Like just as far as like the street shit and everything like that. When did you decide? Like when did you cut all that loose?
Really, shit. When I got into really after I really got into the business of the music, and then I kind of put in my own head that this is set up to be a certain way for us that's how it's set up for shit to generate. But in the streets, it's still beyond in the streets. You get what I'm saying? But the beef and all that shit sells. You get what I'm saying? So that's why, probably recently, I ain't gonna lie to you, probably a couple years ago, because I was always still like, I won't say I'm like a street nigga. I'm not no punk though. You get what I'm saying?
I feel you.
And I ain't gonna let too much shit that I'm not comfortable with slide. So I just got a different mentality like a couple years ago, I would say, bro. A couple years ago,
you know what, man? It's just maturity, man. As we get older, man, we should be evolving, not doing the same shit we was doing when we was in our 19 to 20 years old, you know? So you're running with Game now. Did you ever officially sign to Black Wall Street?
Nah, it wasn't like that. We was just a movement, I would say. We were just a movement, a group of real niggas that was moving tough. Shit. Tour buses, cars, you wanna go, we moving.
That's dope,
showing
man.
the world the city, and he gave everybody opportunity to make something of themselves.
Yeah, and it seemed like you was a hustler, man, because I used to see you on the road when I was out there with glasses. And I told G one day, I said, man, that cat go be somebody, man. I said, I see him everywhere.
Facts. Well, I think I got that mentality just from the hustle game. You get what I'm saying? And knowing how to move around with a product. And I kind of took that and use it as the same way. It had to be the right place, the right time. You just had to do it. And that's how I did it, and we took our own money and did that.
Yeah, for sure. So you kind of was able to use the Black Wall Street situation as a conduit to get into other places? Like you met Wayne, you met Baby, and all those guys through him.
Yeah, I met Wayne for the first time on the road with Game. And I had to use the bathroom. I couldn't find the bathroom, so I just went back to the tour bus. And Wayne getting off his bus, I'm walking by. What's up with it? What's up? What's up? What's up? What you doing? I'm Compton Menace. I just hold Game down. I wasn't even rapping at the time. I just hold Game down. Here, take my number. Fuck him if you're in the city. I got you for sure. Then been locked in ever since.
Ain't it funny that Wayne just a real nigga like that, dog? Like, and at that time, he was probably the biggest star on the planet, dog.
Right.
He was the biggest hip hop star on the planet at this time.
It was crazy to me, like from watching this nigga, been a fan of him to like right here calling me. You feel me? So it was kind of like a couple times he called. I was in the hood like, oh, Wayne calling blood. Hold up. You get me? Like it was crazy. Good feeling at the time.
And he was just reaching out to you like that. So tell me this right now, because you eventually wound up signing with Cash Money Records, right? Mm-hmm. And you and Wayne had a really good relationship, and you said that you had signed to Cash Money at a time where Baby and Wayne wasn't getting along. How was that for you?
Well, just me and all my guys, we fuck with both of them equally. Mm-hmm. You get me? So I really just told everybody, like, just mind your business and stay out of shit. Yeah. Because I know once them guys get cool again, they not gonna forget, like, niggas was acting funny and something that they really didn't have nothing to do with. So it'd be like a niggas choosing sides type of shit, like women, and that ain't how we was raised at all. And we love them both, so I just said we're gonna stay out the way.
That's real man shit, though. That's real man shit. You didn't get involved, didn't have nothing to do with you.
Right.
So who approached you? Did Birdman just come up to you one day and say, hey man, I want you down in this family?
I think I was doing a show. with Wiz Khalifa. And Birdman, we walking through passing like door here, and it's like a hallway area. I'm coming through this way, he coming through that way. We had a little brief conversation. He let me know he wanted to fuck with me, gave me his number. And then before I walked out, he looked back like, hey, I'm serious, man, for you about that business. I'm like, for sure. Then we linked in. He taught me a lot of shit. Before we even got any business done. He did let me know, like, we need more bosses in this game. Everybody want to rap, everybody want to do this, everybody want to do that, and you know, I'm like, where you at? Where you at with it? I'm telling him, like, I got people that's artists around me that I believe in and shit like this. You know, I'm not a selfish person, so that's kind of the role that I took. You get me? And he did let me know, like, this love. You feel me? Like, we could take your time with this. So when that business get involved, ain't no love in that business. He let me know that for sure. So I took my time with love. You get what I was saying before I got that business involved.
Yeah, for sure. He just told you some real shit, man. Because in the rap game, it ain't no love. It's a very cruel business, dog. It ain't no friendship shit. It ain't. It's all business. It ain't personal at all, my nigga. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So did you officially get down on paper with them? Yeah, officially signed to Cash Money. And how long was your tenure over there? I was only over there for a project. But like, me and Birdman got so close. He taught me how to fucking read paperwork, read contracts, to the point where I had got him a situation. So when they're doing business, he like, bring him the contract, like, here. He like, shit, read it. He said, read it, make sure it's right, bring it back to me so I can sign it. Read that motherfucker for about 2 hours, scribbled on shit. What do this mean? What did this mean? You know, rearrange shit, took it back to him, let him rearrange it. Took it back to the people, let him, you know, recontract it out, took it to him. He said, is it good? I said, yeah, he signed it. You feel me? So that was showing me that he was trying to see where I'm at with it, if I learned, if I'm, you know, growing. But that's the type of pressure he'll put on you if he's teaching you. You feel me? Yeah, he's a good nigga, dog. Facts. He's a good dude, good cat, man. I fuck with Birdman. So you over there with them, and in the midst of that, you doing a lot of things. You just in motion. Your career is in motion. You floating and everything. What was your next venture after the Cash Money thing? This time I had 3% in Spitterello too, the blunts. Oh, is that right? Yeah, I had 3% in a company, and I was I had a job
as marketing. I had a marketing job for him. So I kind of used that to be able to move around. You feel me? And be able to promote myself and be able to promote what we was doing too. So that's how we was on the road a lot of times too at that time.
That's dope, man. You were a very intuitive dude, man, for you to be able to take these situations and spin into a marketing career as well, because that's big right there. They still cracking, ain't they?
Yeah, fast. Yeah, they still cracking. I think I don't want to say that, but Akram, I think that he had to go do some time for some. But you know, but I learned a lot of shit from him too. But my whole thing with that was to I didn't want no. They give rappers shit. They give rappers shit. You feel me? I didn't want that. I knew what I could do. I knew my relationships. I knew what I could do for the company, and I kind of attacked it like that, and they fucked with it.
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
That's dope that you was able to manipulate these situations in the manner you were. And then you start getting more opportunities. One of those opportunities, you wound up being in a really big movie, the NWA movie.
Facts. And that came about through, got a couple good friends from my neighborhood too. He actually friends with F. Gary Gray. F. Gary Gray told him to reach out to me because he just felt like he want me in the movie. He just liked my energy, and he just see me in the movie, and he want to work something out to get me in the movie. And
that's real dope.
Yeah, that was big too. Like I came in with the OG Two-Tone name, most of the dialogue. You know, it was a big thing for me.
That's a real big opportunity, and I don't think people realize that music notoriety is one thing, but when you go on that silver screen, it's a whole nother level of fame. A whole
level, facts.
It's a whole nother level of fame. How did you deal with it? I bet you had people come up to you every day. OG Two-Tone.
Oh yeah, like OG Two-Tone definitely is bigger than Compton Menace for sure. Definitely bigger than Compton Menace. But that's a good thing too, because even the big celebrities that I look up to and looked up to, that was like something for them. Like gave me my kudos, my cheer. You feel me? That they was in tune into something of my work.
That's real dope, man.
Yeah.
That's real dope. What's the weirdest thing that happened to you, man, on the Hollywood side after you did the movie? I know you got some fan stories of somebody that just really believed that you OG Two-Tone.
No, niggas believe I'm from Crenshaw Mafia for real. That's crazy. Niggas believe I'm from Crenshaw Mafia. So I'm not from Crenshaw Mafia. That's got something to do with the copyrights to the name of Crenshaw Mafia. That's why that's always in the movie. So I'm not from Crenshaw Mafia. But I just get a lot of love, bro. I get a lot of love. Ain't nothing like too crazy happen.
That's
I get
dope,
a lot
man.
of love, yeah.
That's real dope, because I know a lot of times, man, you'll be surprised at the people that can't differentiate you playing a role in a movie versus you being a real actual person.
Yeah. Now I feel you. But like, I feel if somebody else would have played that role, that they would have had the different problems.
Yeah.
I feel they would have had different problems. But I feel that role went perfect with my image and what people know of me. So I feel like that's why it was more acceptable.
Well, it was the perfect role for you, man, because it was authentic.
Yeah.
It was authentic, and everybody in LA know and love you. I ain't never heard about nobody saying I don't like Compton Menace. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So I think everybody
had a lot of love.
Yeah, you get a lot of love from that, because everybody was proud. Like when I saw it, I was like, that's the homie up there.
Hell yeah! Even different Crips and different people from out of town, like they was happy about it. They was happy to see me in it. You feel what I'm saying?
And I'm pretty sure that role right there opened up a lot more opportunities for you.
Hell yeah! I got a bunch of shit after that. I did it's shit that we finna start back working on now. That's based on the OG Two-Tone role out of that movie. I did Fatal, well y'all would say Fatal. Hilary Swank, Michael Ealy, Talbot Turner, directed by Deion Taylor. I did Snowfall. Shout out to John Singleton. John Singleton actually. The first time he called me, I didn't know who he was. You feel me? So I'm talking to him, he telling me he got a movie for me. He telling me I got the part. He think I should go to do some more acting classes and shit like that. I'm like, for sure. I get off the phone with him and I tell my brother K, like, I'm like, who is John Singleton?
Only one of the biggest black directors of our time.
My big homie Chili Dub went off on me like, you stupid motherfucker, you don't know who John Singleton is, nigga. This movie, this. I was like, oh shit. I said, well, shit, he want us to do a movie.
That's dope, man. And you know what's crazy, man? God is really shining his light on you, bro, because you're getting opportunities that some people have to work years for and they never get them.
Yeah.
But they keep falling into you. So that means you got a call. And I think some people are really chosen to do the things that they do in life.
I think that everybody get the same opportunities, but most people don't. I think most people take pauses and give up.
Yeah.
Before they get to see, you know. And me, I never gave up. I never took a pause. So I feel like that's why, you know, you get to see a lot of good things happen for me.
That's dope, man. Yeah. So let's talk about Compton Menace, the man.
Yeah.
You married, you got children, man, right?
Yeah.
And you know this world we living in right now, we live in a really crazy and chaotic times, man, right now. What do you think about society in general today, man?
I just think, I don't think nothing changed really. I just think it's, you get to see it more. Mm-hmm. That's all I think, you get to see it more. I don't think nothing changed. I think the world was way worse and sneaky years ago.
Think so?
I do.
I think right now, man, like you said, I think we in the day and age, man, where everything is broadcast. Mm-hmm. You know, we got the internet, man, and everybody's on their phone. Like I was with my kids the other day, and we sitting up eating dinner, you know. My daughter got her phone out, my son got his phone out, and I'm like, man, can we put our phones up and just talk? Like let's talk, you know what I mean?
Facts.
Because I'm guilty of that sometimes. You know, I'll be sitting there, I'll be checking the scores of the game. I might be looking at a football game, and I'm supposed to be out at dinner with my wife, you know, and so I don't learn to put that phone in my pocket, you know?
Yeah. That just happened too. I had all my kids at the house, except my oldest son, he wasn't there. But I'm caught myself watching a movie with these little motherfuckers. I look around, they all on their phone watching something else.
Ain't that crazy, man?
It's crazy.
Ain't that crazy,
and
man?
And then you gotta, cause they can see anything on there, so you kind of gotta monitor what they're doing, monitor what they're doing. So yeah, it's crazy. That's another thing I would say that's different right now, because we didn't have no phones. Like my kids, I get them a phone when they get 8 years old. We didn't have no phones back then, nigga. We had to be in the house to use the phone. We wasn't even using fucking the phones that you had to put change in like that. We was young, you know.
I remember them days.
Yeah. So that what was so accessible for them to see right now, we didn't get to see that unless, you know, you was just there or you was into that type of shit. So it was kind of a hidden thing, like the homosexual thing. You feel what I'm saying? Like it's open now. You see more people doing it. Now it's a thing, but it was a lot of homosexuals. There's always been homosexuals around. Yeah. Always. You feel me?
Yeah, they always have, and you know, they're a powerful group of people. Yeah. They pretty much run Hollywood, you know.
Now they don't have to be, now it's not a bad thing. Before it was a bad thing. Now they say it's not a bad thing. You know
well, people don't have to hide who they are anymore, and I think that's, you know, I mentioned earlier, I'm real big on people living their truth. Yeah. Be whoever you are. That's your right as a human being. Just be who you are. Yeah, don't front on it, you know, because I have no issues with who somebody chooses to love. Yeah. Like, I don't care. It don't bother me at all. It don't hold no bearing on what I do as a man. So, you know, we talk about being kids, man, and you being an entertainer. How do you differentiate, like, how do you deal with that with your kids, man? Because your kids may say, well, Dad, you know what? It's almost like one of them things, your daughter or your son is 15, he see you smoking weed every day, and he come up, I want to smoke weed too. How do you handle those different dynamics, man?
I just be direct with my kids. I be direct with them, like, just because I do it don't mean it's good. You know, I know they're going to probably experiment with different things, and I'm not gonna say like I'm gonna let my kids do drugs or nothing like that, but I want them to be real open with me. I want to know what's going on. I don't want them to be hiding anything from me. So I'm real direct with things like that. They know it's not a good thing. They call it the grown-up store when they see the weed shop or something like that. So they not dumb as people think they are. You know, kids are really smarter than adults are, because adults think that they.
Oh man, you can't pull nothing over on them. They learn faster now.
Exactly.
They learn probably even faster than we do. Because like you said, we didn't have cell phones and all that back then. Now they have cell phones. You can Google anything you want to know.
Yeah. You let your kids curse?
Do I let my kids curse? You know what, man? I don't make as big of a deal of it as I should, because to me they just words. It depends upon it depends on what they're doing. Now, if they come there and call me a motherfucker, we will have some problems. But if I hear my daughter in that room and she say, "Oh shit, I dropped something," I'm not gonna go in there and trip on her. Like I'm a grown ass man. I'm old, dog. It's the fact that my mama still will smack me in my mouth if I say "damn" in the house. You know, so I was raised a certain way, and I'm a little bit different with my kids. I think I'm a lot more liberal because, like you said, I want my kids to have a relationship with me. I don't want my kids to have to hide shit from me. You know, I want to know what's going on with them guys, man. So you know, you you have a certain level of maturity to you now. I noticed because back in the day, you had little issues with people and stuff. Yeah, but you was always a cool dude.
Yeah, facts. I was always a cool dude. But you know, you could put a mouse in a corner, and that mouse is going to try to get out that corner.
Oh, for sure.
And that's just nature, period. And that's just a lot of the things that I was put up against. And
I know, you know, back in the day, you used to have little disagreements with 40 Glock. I would say disagreements. Y'all had a wrestling match. The thing I was looking at one time because I got to give 40 his props. 40 Glock is the original internet nigga. He had everything he did online, and I should trip out on that. He used to walk around with a camera. 40 Glock should be sitting on about $30 million right now, dog. He should be sitting on a whole bunch of money, man. And I heard recently, and this was something that made me feel good because I'm all about unity and peace. You and 40 Glock made amends.
Yep. I was at Vegas. You know, we got a spot out there. Shout out to Maserati J. He president of TSF right now. So, you know, shout out to Maserati J. And my oldest son out there, so we always in Vegas a lot. So I'm out there with my boy Bob. We in the studio, and 40 Glock is a friend of his. So he like, man, what's up? Y'all niggas need to squash that shit, cuz. I'm like, man, call 40 Glock right now. Called it. Chopped it up, squashed it.
That's dope. After a conversation, man. And that's what I tell people. I say, man, you can't always just assume the worst with people because if you ever actually sit down, we don't do enough of that as black people. We don't sit down and have conversations. We just assume this dude over here is the op, so I'm bombing on him as soon as I see him. And that dude might mess around and be one of your best friends if you actually sit down and have a conversation with him. That's crazy, man. Do you ever see any? I don't even know what you and Game's situation was. If it was one, do you ever see yourself making amends with Game?
Me and Game don't have a problem.
That's dope to hear.
Me and Game don't have a problem. It's just like, I feel like, like I've grown. You get me? Like it's not like Game in the Black Wall Street no more, you feel me? Like it's Compton Menace now. So it's like I've did everything I could do with the Black Wall Street, and with that, I'm a different entity now. So it's kind of like us coming together doing business now. That's dope. That's where we at,
That's dope right there. So you have your own label and everything right now. What's the name of your label?
We got Money Hard Group, and we got All Hustle No Feelings.
All Hustle No Feelings. That's dope. How you come up with that?
Well, All Hustle No Feelings, that's a partnership with me and my guy Mouse.
That's real dope. That's real dope.
And Money Hard Group, that's something we've been standing on since I came in and shit. And it's before me, and it's gonna, you know, keep on going after me.
For sure. That's dope, man. How big is your roster?
Man, I got a couple dope artists right now. And I got good relationships with the people that's on the roster, and so we got KO, he out of Miami. We got Mike D'Angelo, he out of DC. We got Sada James, she from Cleveland, but she out here right now with us.
Oh, shout out to her. That's my hometown right there. Remember where she from, the land?
For sure. Shout out to Cleveland. She dope as a motherfucker too. We got GS600, he from out here. We got Lil Timmy Rue, T-Ruler. He on the roster. And that's it right now.
That's real dope. And so what's your overall vision for the future, man? What do you see you going with all your little different enterprises, man?
Man, I love everything I do realistically, so I'm gonna always do it. But my thing is just to create more for other people, you feel me? Like I love teaching, I love giving opportunities. Like, so me, I'm always, ain't no telling, bro. I can never be, the word that they say successful, I can never be that because I'm always want more, I'm always want a bigger house, I'm always want a new car, I'm always want some more money, you get me? So I can't even tell you where I'm gonna be at in 10 years because I can't project that big.
That's the dope. That's the dope thing about it, man. The longer you keep striving and achieving for more, man, it ain't no ceiling to it. You know what I mean?
Ain't no successful when you got to do it again, when you could lose it or something like that. You get what I'm saying? So I'm gonna keep going. Whatever come my way, I'm gonna take advantage of it.
Yeah, so let me ask you this, man. I ask a lot of weird questions, so if you get mad, man,
Nah, that's all love.
You know, we in a situation right now, man, to where the economy, it had bubbled up for a lot of people. You know, everybody was out there getting, they had the unemployment scams going, they had the PPP loans going and everything, and all that money dried up right now, man. What would you say, man, if you got named to be the president of the United States today, man, what would you do different, man?
Man. Y'all want to hear this from me.
Yeah, we do. That's why I ask the question all the time. I'm curious to see what's on your mind.
I would stop a lot of shit. You feel me? Americans is lazy as a motherfucker. Americans just lazy. I would put more into people having to go out and work and take more out of people being taken care of.
Yeah, because that's what happened with that, you know, the whole thing with the unemployment stuff. You had a whole bunch of people, man, that was getting unemployment, man, that they never had real jobs in the first place.
Exactly.
And so it kind of fucked the people up that did have real jobs because they couldn't get their shit. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You got people that got Section 8 that don't need it. You got people that's, you know, people just take advantage of anything that they could get. So I would kind of make it a way to where you really you got to work for it.
I always thought it should be that way, man. And don't get me wrong, I don't want nobody cussing me out there, but I've always thought that a lot of people, especially our people, we use welfare for a crutch.
Yeah.
You know, you got
everything, child support, welfare, everything that we could get for free, we're going to take advantage of it. That's why people come from different countries and get M's and billions about this motherfucker. Because they have a different mind frame, what they come here for. What they come here to learn, what they come here to get. Especially what they come from, that's the difference. We could get government assistance. We could do this. We don't have that mind frame. We could go to school for free. We could get loans and can't get, we can't get loans for houses. We could get school grants. There's more than houses though. Like, it's backwards for us to be fucked up out here. That's what I would change that.
Well, you know what? The whole premise, like you just said something, the whole premise of school, I'm a big proponent of education, man, but I also believe that everybody's not meant to go to a 4-year university.
Yeah.
You got some dudes that's good with their hands. Maybe we need to bring those programs back. The trade programs back for people that want to be carpenters, for people that want to be plumbers and stuff like that. And that's a big thing of mine, man, because right now you got a lot of people that wind up going to school because that's what their mama and their daddy tell them they want to do. So they wind up going to school, wasting 4 or 5 years and getting in debt on top of that. So now, not only do they not have a degree, or even if they do get the degree, it's some shit that they don't really want to do.
Yeah. That motherfucker just sitting there.
You know what I'm saying? So they just sitting there, and I think we got a big problem, man. And I'm glad to hear you say that because you're younger than me, man. It's a lot of really lazy people out there. It's a lot of lazy motherfuckers out there, dog, that don't want to get up and go to work. They don't want them. They think somebody's supposed to just give them something. I'm pretty sure, you know, speaking on that, I'm going to get to this point right here. How many friends have you lost, man, because they want you to take care of them?
Countless. Like, I've had friends, like, really had conversations with me, like, what is working for you is not working for me type of shit, you feel me? Like, it's just crazy. So, in that aspect, I just, you know, Rick Ross said, instead of beefing with your homies, just give them some distance. That's what I'm into. I'm not into being mad at a nigga no more, how they feel or their energy or not. I'm gonna just stay away from them at this point. That's it. That's where I'm at with it.
That's the best thing to do, man, because I tell everybody, man, when they first, that's from my sons on up to just my homies, I tell them as soon as they touch some money, I say, man, you better learn how to say no.
Yeah.
No is the most powerful word in your vocabulary. Just say no, don't get no explanation, no reason behind it. You don't have to say my accountant is not allowing me to do this, just tell the motherfucker no.
It only hurt for a couple minutes to be a real nigga.
And sometimes, dog, I'm gonna tell you another secret. You ever had an old nigga tell you could buy a nigga out your life?
Yeah.
Sometimes, man, giving the homie that $500,000 or that rack, dog, when you don't want to be bothered with that motherfucker no more, going and give him that money. You'll never have to worry about dealing with him again.
Keep it real with him.
You know what I'm saying? So what's next on the horizon, man, for Compton Menace, man? What you got coming up next, dog?
I can't say the album title right now, but we dropping a album, nice project, West Coast. Gonna look like some brand new '90s shit. You feel me? From every aspect, from the clothing to, you know, just all original natural shit.
That's dope. I always think '90s probably, 'cause that's the era I came out in. I was a young nigga back then, and I was running the streets, man.
I'm play some shit for you too before you leave too.
Oh, for sure. I damn sure want to hear it. Hey, let me ask you this, man. You being from Compton, who was your favorite rapper coming up?
My favorite rapper coming up? My parents was older, so I was listening to older shit when I was coming up, like Marvin Gaye, Aretha Franklin, all that shit.
That's the good shit though, dog.
Yeah, my dad had a bookie joint, so imagine all the cigarette smoking and newspapers and shit, and loud music and drinking going on. I'm running around that motherfucker playing pool, or, you know, that was my environment.
So that was your environment. You having older parents as a motherfucker. Because I had a step pops, man. I don't know what my mama had going on, man. But he was a good nigga. He actually gave me his last name and everything, Willie Steele.
Yeah, it was dope.
He was probably like 20 years older than my mama, man. 25 years older than my mama. Player, nigga rolled around with a cigar in his mouth. You know, had a two-piece leisure suits on all the time and drove a Cadillac, right? And being raised by an older person give you a different perspective on stuff. You know, he was from Mississippi, man. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, Pops. But man, I appreciate you coming on, dog. And I want to get into some of that good music, man.
I got you.
And you know what I'm saying? Give the people, man, your socials and everything.
Hell yeah. So everything Compton Menace. Make sure y'all check it out. Make sure y'all follow OG Two-Tone the movie on Instagram. We're working that right now. Make sure y'all shout out to Bishop Lamont too. Bishop working with me on this project. Shout out to DJ Seal. Shout out to Mouse. Shout out to all the artists that's on it. It's a lot coming, man. Just fuck with us. Fuck with this channel. Let's get it.
Hey, you know what, man? Let me ask you one more question. I got to ask you about this. I know you probably can't talk too much about it.
Yeah.
OG Two-Tone, man. Is it going to be a prequel?
It's a series. It's going to be a series. And then we're going to do something big to follow up after that.